Alright, so Q&A number 12. Recap since last time. Let's see, last one was on the 13th, and today is June 2nd. So, it's almost 3 weeks ago since I did one of these. I should have that remedied. I have it on my calendar now to remind me every 2 weeks to do the Q&A. I don't know why I hadn't done that before. But I mean, it's like a once every 2 week thing, so it's kind of hard to keep track of. And on my calendar, it says I was supposed to do my Q&A 5 days ago. So, yeah, it's on the calendar now. It's just I've been really busy for the past couple days, and I never got around to doing it. Why have I been busy for the past couple of days? Well, if you watched the video that came out, was it yesterday? I don't know, the latest video that came out before this one, the top 10 chance on hit abilities video. That one took like 2 or 3 days, I don't know, because I wanted to have a different video out on the weekend, but that didn't pan out, so I had to hurry up and put this one together really quickly. And I also had all of these After Effects templates that have like really neat effects where all I have to do is put in the text and the pictures and everything else is already done. And I wanted to use some of those. And half of them don't work, and it took me a while to figure out how to do it. And then, of course, there's like writing the script, and then on Saturday, I took the day off because something unexpected came up, so I don't know, that video took me way longer than it should have. I'd say about 20 hours total of actual work time. Spread that out over a couple of days, and stopping to make other videos. I don't know. Anyways, actually, yeah, there was a couple of days before that day, too, where I didn't really do much. I'm doing a really good job getting into the whole video making thing. I have actually like made more videos in the past couple of weeks than I have over, I don't know, a few months back when I was in school still. And school's over. Yay. I think that ended like last time I made a Q&A though. I'm pretty sure I made a Q&A right after I was done with my finals. I was so excited that school was over because I hate doing homework. It sucks. Plus, I was taking 3 really time-consuming classes. So, anyways, I got my final grades back from my 4 classes, and I failed 2 of them. So, all that work, no, for nothing. 2 of my hard classes, too. Failed Japanese 201 and Trig. Surprisingly. I mean, I got a D in both of them, so it's not really like a hard F. But a D is basically failing in college. You need like C's to pass. I passed with like, no, I didn't pass. I got like a 67% in Japanese, so super close to that passing 70%. If I just did a little bit more, I could have got it. And then with Trig, that's just a whole nother story on its own. Like, I had no idea I was that in danger of failing. Because basically what happened was we've only have like 3 tests in that class total, and we had taken 2 of them. I did really bad on the first one, but I always do bad on the first tests in new classes because I like to use that as a starting point to see what I have to study. So I'll intentionally just like do very light studying if I study at all for the test, just to see what's on the test, and then I'll remember what was on the test and then look over if we actually did in the homework or anything, and then I'll use that as a basis to study for the next test, because I'm a firm believer in studying for the test and not the class, because I don't care about any of these classes. I only need to take them once just to get the credit, and then I'm never going to have to deal with the subject ever again. But for the first one, I did like really bad. I think I got like a 30% or something on it. It was really bad. I wasn't expecting it to be that hard. So I studied for the test, and the second test I took in Trig, I got like a 55 or something, but everyone in the class got low grades, and he said he was going to curve it. So I was like, okay, I studied for this test, and I still did really bad on it, but so did everyone else in the class. I was like, okay, that's not really a big deal. If he's going to curve the grade, it won't be that big of a deal. And then after the second test, we just had weeks and weeks of nothing, because I basically just went to class, and I would just go on Reddit in class, because he would just go over notes. Except with the amount of homework we had to do online, you would have to be completely... It's not possible to do the homework online without learning the material inside and out, just because there's so much homework online. So going to class and taking notes with him explaining everything is completely pointless because you learn everything online, and the online tools are actually pretty good. They go through a whole bunch of examples and they show you step by step how to do practice problems. They even have videos for some of them. So going to class was just a complete waste of time. And then I lost my car, so I had to take the bus, and I just stopped going, like, because I only went for like 2 days, and I would just like go once a week, maybe on Monday or Wednesday. And then towards the end, I was like, we haven't taken a test in a long time. Maybe we only have those 2 tests. That's great. I'm going to start studying for the final now. Because we didn't have a midterm, I think. I think we had like... No, I don't think we had a midterm in that class. That was pretty neat. We had our second test around the time of midterms. So, that was cool. Anyways, fast forward a little bit to the end of the year. It's around April 29th. My birthday falls on a Wednesday. And I was going to go... Now, what happened? I went on Monday, and then my birthday was on a Wednesday, so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go to school today, because all we do is nothing, and it is a pain in the ass to go to school, because it's like a 20-minute drive, so 40 minutes total there and back, plus I have to sit in class for like an hour and a half, so that's like 2.5 hours of my day that's just gone for no reason to go to a stupid class that I don't even need to go to, so it's like, I'm just not going to go to class on Wednesday. And on the following Monday, I had to take the bus because I didn't have a car available. And I go to the bus stop. While I'm walking there, I see the bus go by. I was like, okay, well, I have bad luck. I'm used to this. So I'm just going to go sit down and wait for the bus to come around again. Because, if you see the bus go by, that means you're going to have to wait the maximum amount of time for the next bus to come around. So I sat there, and then an hour and 10 minutes later... I'm still sitting there playing my Vita. I'm like, you know what? This is taking too long. I'm going back home. So I walked a half hour back home because I live like really far away from the nearest bus stop. And I just didn't go on Monday because the bus was taking too long. So I go on Wednesday. This time I leave about another 10 minutes earlier because I usually like to, when I plan on the bus schedule, I always plan way ahead. Like, I try to get to school as early as possible when I take the bus. I usually plan for like an hour or two where I can just sit down and either just browse Reddit on my Kindle or play games on my PS Vita, or I can play Pokemon on my DS. Not really a big deal going to school and just waiting if I have to take the bus. And since I know I have really bad luck when it comes to this kind of stuff, I just kind of prepare for the worst, so... I go real early, but that time I was like, you know what, I've been waiting here for over an hour. I just don't want to. I'm just going to go back home, because it's not even worth it going to school anyway, because we don't do anything. So, on the Wednesday I leave like 20 minutes early, so I actually make it to the bus this time. I get there, and then the bus comes like 5 minutes later, so pretty great time. I didn't know the bus schedule, because I was so used to taking a car the whole time. So I catch the bus this time there, I'm like an hour early, and I sit down on the computers, go on Reddit, and then I go to class, and then he's like, okay, we're going to start prepping for the final, and I've got your test results back. And I was like, what test? The final was literally the next week, and he's talking about a test. So he talks about how they had prepped for a test on the Wednesday where I skipped school because it was my birthday. And on the Monday where I left the bus stop early, when I got fed up of waiting for the bus for over an hour, they had taken the test. And then on the Wednesday that I actually finally went there, they were studying for the final, which I knew the final date. It was going to be on the week after that. So I just went in because I really wanted to be there for the final studying. Because they do, actually he gives us like a whole pamphlet that has like everything you should study for the finals. It has like over 100 problems on it. I went over that, but I went there and I was hoping to just, because usually he outlines stuff that's definitely going to be on the test during the final. So there are some days that it's good to be in class, like the days before test and on test. Those are like the 2 best days to actually go to class. And it turns out the 2 days I missed, my birthday, and on the day I missed the bus, because I know the day I just left the bus stop early. What's a good way to say it? The day I missed the bus. Yeah, that's a good one, I says. On the day, my birthday and the day that I missed the bus, he had prepared for and taken the third test of the semester, which was happening a week before the final, and I would have known this if I had just looked at the schedule he gave us. He gave us a schedule at the beginning of the year that has everything on it, and he says, everything's on here, even the holidays, so nothing's going to change. It's like, oh, that's great, I love it when teachers are this organized. So I knew about the first 2 tests, and I just totally, spaced out the third one. I guess it's because it was the week before the final. I mean, who gives out a test a week before the final? That's so stupid, but I guess it works for people taking the test, because, I mean, they're going to have to learn the material anyway, and they're going to have it fresh in their mind for the final. It's going to be in the following week. So, yeah, I didn't know about the third test. And the thing with the way he grades stuff is the 3 tests we take for the semester are worth way more than all of the homework. The tests are worth a large majority of your grade. And I did terrible on the first one. I did so-so on the second one. 50% was actually, in one of the higher scores of the class, because a lot of people did really bad on that test. And then for the third test, I went in, I was like, okay, I've been doing the homework, I'm almost caught up. Let me see what's on this test. I'll just take it blindly at the test center. So I go in there, and literally the first problem was the furthest I have gone in the homework. So I knew how to do the first problem, and then everything else was building upon the stuff I had yet to actually get to, because I had been doing the homework for my statistics class instead, because what I wanted to do was finish up all my statistics homework first, because they were going to, the way that class worked was after a certain amount of time, it would just close out the work online and you couldn't do it anymore. And I still had a few of those left, and each homework assignment took 4 hours of just pure spreadsheet work. So it was a really long time, and I wanted to get those done as soon as possible because they were about to close out. While the homework assignments for Trig, those ones never closed out. You just lost 10% off the total score if you turned it in late, which isn't really that bad. So I prioritized statistics over Trig, and paid the price for it because I didn't know how to do anything in that final test. Luckily, it was multiple choice, so I was able to just circle some stuff in, so I totally just failed that. I think I finished the test in 20 minutes total, which is pretty fast, because usually when we take the first 2 tests in class, it was unusual to have someone finish before the whole hour and a half was up, just because it took so long to do everything. So I totally bombed the third test. So I bombed the first test because I usually do that for classes just so I can see what's on the test and how to study for it. Second test I did fine on, but not too great. And the third test completely bombed it. So I did really bad on the test. As for the final, though, I didn't actually check my score on that. I studied for it, and I didn't really have any problems with any of the questions on the final. So if it wasn't for that third test, I would have passed that class because I didn't really have any problems with the final. It was just so many factors that just led to a really unfortunate event where I didn't look at my schedule properly. I should have really put those onto my planner, because I have a planner. I plan everything out. I even plan my free time for the day just because I have, I plan everything out. It's a good way to be productive, especially if you're your own boss and you work for yourself. You have to plan everything out, or otherwise you're just going to be lazy and play Heroes of the Storm all day with Murky, because Murky's fun. I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm with Murky lately. You have no idea how much fun Murky is. He has a 5-second respawn timer, so when he dies, he comes back to life after 5 seconds, as long as you have your egg. And he has really low health, so he's easy to kill, but he also has a bubble, which makes him immune for a few seconds. And if you build him right, you can actually solo some heroes. It's pretty funny when you solo someone, because usually people, they'll go after the Murky and try to kill it. And then when they get 1v1'd, it's so much fun, because then they start running away from you for the rest of the game. Or if you die a lot early to people, later on, when you actually have all your abilities, they'll try to engage you, and then they die because Murky can actually dish out the damage if you know how to play him correctly. Although there are some games where I just had people run from Murky every time they saw it, and I was like, really? Those are the annoying games. Anyways, I wasn't talking about Murky. I was talking about something else. I don't remember. It was something with school, right? Oh, yeah, I was talking about how I failed Trig. Okay, so I failed Trig because I didn't have everything planned out. I didn't put the third test in my planner, and I missed the 2 days in advance, I probably would have given me some kind of heads up on the test, so I would have been able to study for it. Because the Wednesday it happened, it was my birthday, so I skipped. And then the Monday, where we were supposed to take the test, I don't think that really counts, though. I missed the bus. So, just an unlucky time to take a day off. If only my birthday had fallen on like a Thursday or something, I think I'd be fine. Or if I just check my schedule, whatever. It's a combination of, it's totally my fault, so whatever, I'll just take the class again when I go back to school. No biggie. But also, I really wish I didn't have to. It'd be great. And then for Japanese, that class is just really hard. That's shit. Oh my god, fuck that class. Fuck Japanese. If you have to take a foreign language class, do not take Japanese. That shit's hard. It's just the stupid kanji. Like, I learned how to memorize words ridiculously well, because I read a whole bunch of books on how to study and memorize better. And I can memorize vocab words and relate them to their pronunciation and even spell them out in hiragana. But then you also have to remember a kanji on top of the words themselves, like the kanji for tabemasu, which means to eat. Actually, I know that one like with the back of my hand. I can draw it out in my sleep because I've drawn out the kanji for to eat so many times because it's used a lot in beginning Japanese stuff. But that's just like an example. You have to learn kanjis for everything, and then kanjis don't always mean the same thing, which is so annoying because sometimes a kanji that means like, I don't know, engineering, ko, can also mean like artificial, and it has a completely different thing where it's like a G instead of ko, even though they're both using the same kanji. So not only are kanjis like a pain in the ass to memorize, since you have to like memorize how to do little drawings, but you also have to remember the context in which they're used, because by themselves they mean something completely different than if they have a couple other kanjis right next to it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, English, I guess, where you have to kind of memorize just what the words mean instead of pronouncing them how they're spelled. Like colonel, it's spelled colonel, but you just have to know that it's pronounced colonel and not colonel, even though it's spelled colonel. Same thing with kanji, except on a larger scale, where everything's kind of like that, where you have to memorize the different kanjis and how they mean completely different things when a couple of other words are next to them, or if it's in the middle of something. And it's just a huge pain in the ass, and I hate it. And I really wish I had taken Spanish or French, something that doesn't have kanji, something that would have been a lot easier. No, I had to be a weeaboo and take Japanese. Whatever. So, yeah. Oh wow, that was a really long rant about school. So I failed 2 classes. I got an A in statistics, though. I'm glad I don't have to take that again. And then I got a B in my Flash class, which is surprising. I thought I'd get an A in that class, but whatever. A B is still high grade. At least I don't have to take statistics again. Fuck that class, too. That class, holy crap, was the homework long as hell. Luckily, we had a really easy teacher, and she literally like gave us the answers to the tests, and then told us, yeah, she gave us the answers to the test, and then gave us the test, and it was basically, no, she didn't give us the answer, she gave us a study sheet, and then she gave us the answers to that study guide, and the test was exactly the same as the study guide. So basically what you had to do was just memorize the answers, and you were good to go. So like when I went to the test center to take a whole bunch of those tests, because I had like 5 tests to take, and I'd go in there like, okay, you have 2 hours to take the test. I was like, okay, and then I finish it in 30 seconds, and then I sit there for like 5 minutes rereading all the questions, and then I come out like, wow, that was fast. Like, yeah, well, there's not too many questions on this. And then I would take like a 5-minute break, and then I'd come back just to make it seem like, you know, I actually spent some time on the test. But yeah, that was an easy class. I wish all my other classes were that easy. But nope, I got whatever. So, with school over and failing 2 of my classes, I wasn't in the best of moods. So, I haven't been reading comments lately. Because if you really want to just put yourself in a really bad mood, just read through comments on stuff you've made. there is no shortage of people who are more than happy to point out every little flaw, inconsistency, spelling mistake, verbal mistake. I don't know, they like to point out mistakes or wrong facts without backing up their claims with data. The Exploring Alpha WoW video, that one, holy crap. So many people shitting on me for not knowing Iron Forge or the Eastern Kingdoms. And I was like, okay, yeah, so I'm not reading comments anymore. These people, I even tried replying to some of them, and they just, what was it? There's this one guy who was saying there was no second story in Undercity. And I was like, yes, there is. There is 100% a second story in Undercity. And they're like, nope, I've never seen it. I was like, well, you can just look on my video, the Easter eggs in Undercity. The very first 10 seconds of the video, I show my character running to the second floor, and for the next 30 seconds, I'm running around the second floor of Undercity. His reply, I'm not at work right now, so I can't check that. I know I'm at work right now, so I can't. I was like, why do I even bother with these people? This has never gone well for me. I have never been able to convince someone who's pointing out something in my video that something's wrong that, oh, you know what, you're right and I'm wrong, I should just shut up about it. No, they always get super defensive and talk about stupid shit or just completely derail the conversation. This is why I stopped replying to negative comments like years ago. I don't know, over a year ago. I used to reply to them all the time, but they always followed the same pattern and it never really got anywhere. It was just a exercise in futility after trying so many times. So I just gave up on it. Like, if you look at some of my older videos, I actually tried replying to people who would shit on the videos, but I would always try to do it really wittingly and sarcastically. But after a while, you just get so many of them about the same thing in the same video, and it's like, I'm not going to argue this point for the 5th time again, because they obviously didn't read the comments, or maybe I just didn't reply in that one, I don't know. Comments are toxic. There's a reason other YouTubers talk about comments all the times whenever they make videos. I try to avoid that, except in the Q&As, but in the Q&As I talk about everything, so of course I'm going to talk about toxic comments like my Exploring Alpha WoW video. Holy shit. You people, you're going to watch the video anyway. There's a lot of people who like the comments. There's also, I think like half the people who actually commented on it were just to talk about how I don't know WoW enough, and why am I even making videos if you don't know what vanilla WoW was like. It's like, yeah, whatever. You're gonna watch my videos anyway, so what does it matter? And if you don't watch my videos, it doesn't really matter, because I'm gonna have so many other people who are and just don't care about this. You guys are the vocal minority, but you piss me off well enough. And it's a psychological thing. I'm not immune to it. If you watch my video, Why Are People Mean to Me Online? I explain it pretty well on why most people don't like negative stuff like that. What's an example? There's like, if you watch any other like WoW YouTubers, for example, who make top 10 lists, they usually start off the video saying like, oh, this is my personal list, and if you have any opinions otherwise, just leave them in the comments below. They always, well, not always, some people don't do that. I'm not the only person who doesn't reference the comments in my videos, but like most of them will go out of their way to mention like, this video, this top 10 list is based on my own personal opinions. It's like a kind of a cover up, so people can't go, you know what, you're wrong, this should have been in the list, or you missed this item. Every single top 10 video I have, I think I get like a comment or two a day about something I missed in the video. Lots of people love to tell me about things I missed. It's like, no, I didn't miss Lady Vash as the hardest raid boss. I didn't put it in the list. I didn't just like, oops, you know what, I really should have put Lady Vash in here because she was a really tough raid boss. I'm so glad you pointed that out, because there's nothing I can do about it, but thanks for telling me that I missed Lady Vash. Even though the other 10 people on this list totally deserve their spots, but no, I missed Lady Vash. Thanks for telling me. Actually, you know what, not thanks for telling me, I don't care. What am I going to do about it? Maybe you just want to comment about how I missed something. because it validates your existence about how I miss this such important boss to you personally in your monkey sphere. Ooh, interesting thing about the monkey sphere. I should probably derail this topic. I'm not going to go into negative YouTube comments. Usually I've been doing really good about not dealing with them and just ignoring them, but I would still read through the comments and respond to some of the more positive ones or sane people. But I'm just not doing that for the next couple of weeks. I'm not in the correct state of mind. Once I get over failing my 2 classes, then I'll go back to reading comments. I mean, I still skim through the comments on newer videos, but older stuff and like everything on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, I haven't really been reading comments in a long time. Same thing with even my pet battle channel. When your channel is small, and usually the only people who comment are ones who are pretty interested in the content, so I kind of like responding to the pet battle video comments because I actually ask questions that I can answer, or they just talk about different pet teams. Those are nice, friendly comments, the kind of comments I wished all my videos had. But then when your channel gets bigger, like my WoW and Yu-Gi-Oh channel, and you just get like 100 comments every day, most of it is just garbage, and the other ones is just stuff you can't respond to. It's like, cool video, thanks, but I'm not going to type that out for the other 100 people who typed out cool video, because that would be crazy. No one does that. There's just too many. Although I might give them a thumbs up sometimes. Yeah, so responding to comments, there's too many, and it affects my mental state, considering how I'm kind of bummed out about failing 2 classes. So, yeah. Anyways, on to the next stuff. Blah, 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 exploring alpha, wow, toxic comics. Oh, my other YouTube channels. Alright, so, back before I started taking Japanese, the good old days when I could pass all my classes without studying, kind of like high school. Anyways, yeah, before I took Japanese and I was busy all the time with fucking stupid homework that I failed the class anyway, I created different channels besides my WoW one, and currently the only ones that are doing well besides the WoW one are my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, which is nearing 5,000 subscribers. Yay, Yu-Gi-Oh channel, you're doing pretty well. I'm getting about an average of 1,500 views a video that I upload every day. That channel, okay, so here's the big difference between my WoW channel and my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. My WoW channel, the one you guys are watching this video on, it heavily relies on videos getting big or going viral, where more people than the amount of subscribers I have watch the videos. A video is a nice, successful video if I get at least half of my subscribers to watch, or if the view count is just higher than half of my subscribers. So currently I'm at like 24,000, so if I can get 12,000 views on a video, it's a pretty well done video. Anything less than that is kind of fine too. As long as it gets more than 5,000 views, it's pretty good. Anything less than that is a total failure of a video. Like all of my Dave and Dev episodes 2 and 3, those are both failures of videos, but I didn't expect anything more than that, to be honest. I am very surprised that the first episode has almost 20,000 views. That's a shock. I expected those to get low views, and they are. If they still have really low views by the time I have like the first 12 episodes done, I'm still going to put them out because they're really fun to make. That's more of a passion project. I don't care if that doesn't get views. If a top 10 video doesn't get a whole bunch of views, then I'll be worried. Like, if I had a top 10 video that only has like 1,000 or 1,500 views at the end of like a week, that will worry me, but that never happens, ever. My channel is like really heavy reliant on the top 10 videos to keep everything else going. And sometimes some of the other videos I make that aren't top 10s just break out of their shell and get mega views for no reason, or go viral. Viral-ish. They get around 100,000 views. So far, the only videos I have with over 100,000 views, which is really good, You gotta remember, the amount of views to the amount of money you make, it's like $1 to $3 every 1,000 views. So 100,000 views is at least $100, which is pretty good in my book. Let's see, which videos do I have that have made it over 100,000 views that aren't top 10 videos? Right here, History of Legendaries. It's my 4th most viewed video, has 160,000 views, pretty nice. And then right next to it is my top 10 Broken Things in a While video, which has 162,000 views. It's actually, it just passed it, which I released 2 months ago, and it's a top 10 video, which beat out my History of Legendaries video, which I made 8 months ago. Well, that's normal. I'm just kind of surprised it's doing as well as it is, considering it's not a list video. Let's see, anything else in my top? Oh, here we go. It's like spot number 10 or something. Who will be the end boss of Warlords of Draenor? 120,000 views. Good job, even though it's almost a year old now. And then right after that, the History of Hunter Pets. 110,000 views. Pretty nice, considering it's one of my history videos. That is definitely my 2nd most popular history video. Wow, I have 2 history videos in my top 10 spots. History of Legendaries at 160,000, and then History of Hunter Pets at 109,000. And then my 3rd most popular history video only has 23,000 views, which is still pretty nice. They all are doing pretty well. I think the lowest one in views are like my older ones that are really bad and I don't suggest you watch. But the rest of them all have over 20,000 views. Not half bad. I do want to do more of those. I should really do one of those next. I think I have another top 10 one planned out though. Oh yeah, my top 10 PvP pet battle pets. That's a month old and only has 8,000 views. Yeah, that's kind of a failure of a video. But then again, I really only made that video to promote my pet battle channel, so it's not that big a deal. What was I talking about? I just started talking about my videos and how... Let's see. I was talking about the difference between my WoW channel and my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Okay, so my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, it does have some videos that do a lot better than the others, but when they do a lot better than the others, they only get like maybe 5 times more views than the other ones. While on my WoW channel, I'm very dependent on like a handful of my videos just getting a ton of views every month. And that is basically how I make most of my revenue. So I could just like not make any videos for a month and still make a decent amount of money, just because the channel is more reliant on my bigger videos just attracting more views, because YouTube runs on the system of the rich get richer. So once you have a video that has a lot of views, it's going to get even more views. Like some of the videos I have that have like over 100,000 views will get more views in like the coming month than my new videos that I put out, just because, you know, rich get richer. Same thing with more subscribers. After a certain point, you just start earning more subscribers because you have a lot of subscribers. It's like a snowball effect. It takes forever to start out, but then once you get bigger, you start exponentially starting getting even bigger and bigger until you turn into an avalanche. So it's really hard to start off, but after a certain point, it just kind of explodes. And that's how my WoW channel works. My Yu-Gi-Oh channel, however, it's considerably different. That one is like a consistent stream of just going up, but very consistently. There's no spikes, there's no viral videos carrying the channel. The channel is 100% reliant on the daily uploads. I think somewhere, how many views is it? Here, I kind of want to look at it. It's kind of like the daily upload video will earn about, I want to say 50% of the views for the day, but I don't know if that's right, because the videos usually get about 1,500 views, and every day it's about 5,000, so I don't know, that's only like 25%. Yeah, 20 or 25%. So, it is really dependent on the daily upload, but I guess I do get some views for my other stuff too. I mean, I kind of have to. I have over 1,000 videos on this channel. That's a lot. So, the other 1,000 videos I have from people searching it out, because Yu-Gi-Oh videos get a lot of search traffic. because I do that too when I'm looking up new deck ideas. I go on YouTube and look up other people who've made decks, that way I can see how they run. So I get a lot of traffic that way, and tons of comments on older videos all the time for that. So, I don't know, I get... Actually, you know what? I think I get like as many comments a day on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel than I do on my WoW channel. Just because I get a whole bunch more people watching a whole bunch of different types of videos, while the people who find out my WoW stuff, they usually comment on like my 10 biggest top 10 videos consistently. I don't know, I haven't really looked at that. That's not really a big deal. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that my Yu-Gi-Oh channel is more dependent on consistent uploads. So if a video doesn't go viral, it's fine, because as long as I keep releasing daily content, I'll do completely fine on that one. While my WoW channel, it's more random, and I can't really control the views or anything, just because it's so reliant on YouTube picking up my video and deciding to advertise it because I think it's big. Which usually happens with like all my top 10 videos. Because when YouTube starts advertising your video, then it's going to get a lot of views. And YouTube won't even consider advertising... Wait, I should probably explain how that works. When a channel is big enough and a video has enough views on its own, YouTube will pick your video and put it in the sidebar on the recommended videos based on this one. Like, all the ones in there are only stuff that's, related to the video you're watching in some way or another. And they'll recommend videos from your channel if they think it's big. And usually the videos that I have that are recommended by YouTube, they all get like over 100,000 views, just because getting a recommendation from YouTube is a big deal. I think I get like over 50% of my traffic from YouTube recommending my videos for other people to watch, which is huge. While on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, I think I get like 50% of my views from search traffic, which is totally different. Funny enough, I also get like 25% of my views from annotations. So those annotations at the end of the videos that I just kind of put in there because I saw everyone else do it, totally like work. So I always make sure to put those annotations in now because they result in a lot of traffic. Okay, so why was I talking about that stuff? Oh yeah, I made new channels. I made other new channels when I first started out, before Japanese, because I had the time to actually like work on them. So I had a few other channels, and then I completely stopped working on all of them except my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, because that one was doing pretty well for itself, even back then. And now it's at almost 5,000 views, 5,000 subscribers. It's a baby channel. It's like 20% as big as this channel, but 20% is still, like 20%. That's not insignificant, but it's also not that great. And then I started my pet battle channel a few months ago, just because I'm really into pet battles. Pet battles are so much fun. I've been having so much fun just beating people with my plushie team. The plushie pet that has no actual damaging moves? Well, I found a way to take advantage of one of its abilities to be a top tier team. I actually made a video of getting my 10 wins for the week, because there's a quest every week, a weekly quest for pet battles where you just need to win 10 PvP pet battles. So I did all 10 wins by just recording it, and I went 10-1 with my plushie team, so I only lost one match. And I only barely lost that match. I only lost it because I got unlucky for missing twice under darkness. I hate darkness teams. Darkness only reduces your chance to hit by 10%, so I still had a 90% chance to hit, and I missed twice. Out of, only having a 10% chance to miss, while my opponent, who also has a 10% chance to miss because darkness affects both teams, never misses. They always hit everything 100% of the time. I'm the only one who ever misses under darkness. I hate darkness teams. So yeah, I lost to a darkness team just because I have really bad luck. But I won the other 10-1 just because my team was so solid. So yeah, Pet Battle channel is pretty great. And then I have I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other channels besides my Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pet Battle channel. So that's 7 other channels if you don't count. Actually, you know what? How many do I have? Let's see. I have my WoW channel, this one. And then I have TheDuellogs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channels. plus 9 if I count the anime channel, but I haven't really put anything on there yet. I used to have a channel where I put like a bunch of anime videos on it, but that stuff gets flagged way too recently. I mean, way too frequently. Having a flagged video where, you know, you get like a copyright strike, it's a pain in the ass for anime content. So I just kind of like avoided that, because video game footage is way easier to get away with than it is for like movies or anime. So screw that. I plan on making videos on there, but I'm still not sure yet. And then I've got the awesome top 10s video channel. It's a channel about top 10 videos that aren't WoW related. It's just gonna be like just random ass top 10 videos, just because top 10s are the way to go if you want views. And then I have Heroes of the Storm, where I just upload gameplay footage of me doing Heroes of the Storm because I'm kind of addicted to that game, so it's a lot of fun. And then I have Hiru's Metroidvania. It's a Metroidvania channel because outside of playing Blizzard games, the only other games I actually played the most were either Pokemon or Metroid. I've just played like Metroid Zero Mission and Fusion over and over again, just because I love those games. So I always wanted to branch off into more Metroidvania games, so that's where I'm going to do that at. I'm going to explore the world that is Metroidvania games on my Hiru's Metroidvania channel. And then I have Hiru's Ask Reddit, where I literally just go in and read Ask Reddit threads from Reddit. Why? Well, 2 reasons. First one, I've always wanted a channel like this, where someone just goes on Reddit and reads the Ask Reddit thread. Because Ask Reddit, it's just, the great thing about that subreddit is it's really popular, and they basically just ask questions like, high schoolers of Reddit, what's something you want to ask people in a profession, and what are their pros and cons, or something stupid like that. And then you'll get a whole bunch of people talking about their profession and the pros and cons of it, and it's just, you get so many comments, and the comments are the best thing about that subreddit. And I usually spend way more time than I like to admit just going through and reading those. And I would love it if there was someone who just like read Ask Reddit threads and I could just listen to it while I played video games, because that would be great. So I made a channel like that because I usually make videos about stuff I'd want to watch, and that is something I would totally want to watch. Also, reason number 2, it's great reading practice, because you're reading from people's comments off the cuffs. I'm not going to edit it too heavily, or at all, really. Most editing I'm going to do is just going to like to focus the screen in so that you can actually see the comments. And reading other people's bad grammar and vocabulary and spelling things weird, I think that'd be great practice for script reading. And so far, one of them's really bad, but the other two videos I've made from that channel so far aren't half bad. I think I've gotten better at script reading, and considering how long those videos are, I should be a pro at it by the time I get like, I don't know, 100 videos done on that channel. And then finally I've got the Unfunny Jokes. It's a channel where I 100% draw out like everything. Basically, I upload like a video once a week there, and all I do is animate a bad joke. Like the one I made today before I made this video, it was a joke about woof. No, it's called the woof joke. The joke goes like this. A dog goes into a telegram office and pulls out a sheet and writes, woof, 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 woof. He writes woof 9 times. And then he hands it to the guy. And the clerk looks at the page and says, you know, we can add a 10th woof on here for the same price as 9. And the dog goes, but then it wouldn't make any sense. Because, you know, I'm not going to explain that. So yeah, they're really lame jokes. But the thing is, I draw them all out in Flash and I animate parts of it. So it looks like I put a lot of effort into it. And if you like my shitty drawings, that's 100% of the videos on this channel. Let's see, how many do I have on here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos on there so far. They're all really short. I think the longest one is like 30 seconds long. And those are the 2 I made from before I made this channel. Like, I made my jokes channel 3 years ago when I wanted to get into YouTube, back when I was really bored one day at my job and was like, I'm going to make a YouTube channel based on stupid jokes, and I'm going to animate them in Flash. So I made 2 videos, and I didn't make any more. And then I put out a video for a project I did for my Flash class. I was like, you know what, I took the Flash class, I know how to do all this now. And it really doesn't take that long to do the drawings, because they're really shitty, and I don't really put that much effort into it. So the woof joke, which is like a 25-second long video, and I just drew everything out and did some really easy animation stuff. That's a fun one to make. Those are really fun, since I do those ones only like once a week. Yeah, so anyways, the unfunny jokes. That's like the only one I made. I don't know, how many of these are video game channels? Let's see, TheDuellogs, HirusPetBattles, Heroes of the Storm, and Heroes Metrovania. So that's 4 that are about video games, and then I've got 3 that aren't. So the awesome top 10s, Heroes Ask Reddit, and the unfunny jokes, and then maybe the anime channel if I get around to it. I only play Tinker. You know, I really need to update my description box, because basically whenever you upload a video, you can set like defaults in the description. So when I upload a video, I don't have to go out and type out, follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Patreon and blah 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 and stuff like that. It just puts it on every single video, and you can choose to delete it or not. Same thing with tags, so I just have those set up as default, so they just go up. I should really put all my channels in the default description. I only have a couple of them. If you want to find the channels, though, all you do is go to my channel homepage, where it has like playlists and stuff. And on the right of my homepage, underneath like the banner where it says HirusPetBattles, there'll be a little tab that says My Other Channels, and then I'll have the TheDuellogs, HirusPetBattles, the Awesome Top 10s, Heroes of the Storm, etc., etc. There's like, let's see how many are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 in the sidebar. So just go there and subscribe to all of them if you want, or some of them. I don't care, just subscribe to some of them, though. There has to be something you like there, especially if you like the sound of my voice, because that's a lot of my voice, because I also read out the jokes. If you like the joke channel, that one's probably like, everyone should just go subscribe to that, because it's one video a week, and the videos are like 30 seconds long, so what do you have to lose there? Alright, so that's enough of all of my, I think that's enough for the catch-up. Nope. Almost. It's almost done with my catch-up. I still have 2 more things on this list before I actually get to the Q&A portion of this. Okay, so talk about the story behind my top 10 video. I have that written down. My top 10 video, I think I'm pretty sure I already talked about that. My top 10 video, the one I released like 2 days ago or something, top 10 chance on hit weapons. Yeah, I had the templates for After Effects, and I had to do that like in a rush, so I didn't really get much done with it. I already explained that. And that's here, my stream schedule. I don't really have a stream schedule, although I do kind of plan on making one in the future, because kind of right now I'm still trying to set up my new channel, so I need to find a groove for that, or I can, like set Tuesdays to working on, I don't know, an awesome top 10 video, and then I'll record Metroid stuff on like Monday, and then a Yugioh video, a Yugioh and Pet Battle video. I do those every day, so it's like, at what time should I do those? I still have to plan out everything and get into a schedule for that. And once I get all of that scheduled out, plus I want to make like 2 videos a week now for my WoW channel, I have to figure all that out before I can consistently set up a stream schedule. But for the near future, I do plan on just streaming my raids, and I raid on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday from 7 to 10, no, it's 7 to 11. 7 to 11 my time. I live in Mountain Time. Just type in, actually we have our own time, Arizona time. Arizona doesn't acknowledge daylight savings, so we have our different time zones, so just type in Arizona time, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then you can find out when that is in your time zone if you want to, for sure, see stream on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Because I know I've had some people ask about that. And even those days aren't really set in stone, because sometimes my internet acts bad. Because my internet sometimes just craps out on me, but it's rare. Usually my internet, like 90% of the time, is fine. But sometimes, like at peak hours, which is usually like around the time I'm raiding, it'll just crap out on me. I can still play WoW, but I can't stream. And even when I play WoW, I get disconnected a lot. But it's not really a consistent issue. It just happens every once in a while. And also sometimes I just don't want to stream and I want to listen to podcasts. So the best time to absolutely watch me stream is Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You have like the highest chance of actually finding me streaming on those days. Of course, you can also just follow my Twitch channel, and it'll send you an email whenever I do stream. Or if you follow my Twitter, it'll send out a tweet whenever I'm about to stream. Although sometimes Twitch won't send out notifications when I'm streaming through email, which is a pain in the ass, but it always tweets it out. So Twitter is probably the best way to follow that. Plus, I don't really tweet that often. The only thing that I tweet out are like screenshots from WoW when I talk about Game of Thrones or anime, and videos. Yeah, it tweets out videos of my Pet Battle channel, this channel, and I think I set it up to set out tweets for my joke channel, but that's only like once a week. That's not really a big deal. Did it put it out today though? I'm trying to see. I'm looking at my Twitter right now. Twitter, some people don't use Twitter, and I totally understand that because I totally didn't use Twitter until I had my own YouTube channel. Oh yeah, I did put it out. I put out a tweet for my woof joke. Or the dog joke or whatever. But yeah, Twitter, I found the best thing for Twitter is just to follow famous people. Or I use it to like follow other YouTubers and talk to them. Twitter is really good for following famous people. I can't really see a use for it outside of that. Because, you have Facebook where you can follow your friends and see what they're up to. And almost all my friends I have don't use Twitter. Besides my friends that are YouTubers, because they all have their own Twitter account and they actually use it because Twitter is actually... once you are forced to use it because of the YouTube channel, you kind of get used to it, and I kind of like Twitter more than Facebook. I don't really ever post to Facebook. If there's something I was going to post to Facebook, I'd do it to Twitter instead, because I like Twitter. I was never really too active on Facebook anyway. I just post jokes every once in a while. You have to give off that persona that you're a fun and crazy guy. No, I don't do that. Yeah, so stream schedule, let's see, I got that out of the way. Alright, 50 minutes into this video. Let's finally go into the Q&A portion. Let's see. Question number 1 from Molten Core. Hiru, are you fat? Well, no, not really. Yes and no. My weight fluctuates. A couple years ago, let's see, in 2013, I was at a running period of 7 miles a day. I'd go running for about 45 minutes at night. Actually, 45 minutes and 7 miles. Is that a lot? I don't know. Maybe it was an hour. I don't know. I ran a lot. And I used to run at night because it's hot as shit here where I live. So it was a lot of fun running at night, and then one day I got attacked, and I don't go running anymore because of the PTSD that resulted from that surprise attack. So the thing is, I would eat normally because I would just run at night, so I could keep a pretty healthy weight. And then after that, I stopped running, and then I gained weight. And then I had to actually go on a diet because I couldn't go work out because I didn't have the money to go to the gym, and I couldn't go running outside because of the anxiety or the PTSD. If you know what PTSD is, then you'll understand. So I stopped running, but I kept on a diet somewhat. So I'm not fat, but I could be skinnier. I watched... Oh, wait, let's see. I'm going to go into the next ones. You know, I really do want to, go on a crash diet, though, because I really want to cosplay as Magica from Magica Magica, and I cannot have a little gut going into a dress, because that just doesn't work. That would look ridiculous. I don't want to be one of those cosplayers who don't have the body for it. I'm definitely short enough to pass off as a girl in a dress, but my face is too masculine. I don't know, I have a really good looking face, but I don't really want to have a little gut going into that dress, so I don't know. I really do want to cosplay as Magica, but you know, I should really go on that crash diet already. Just limit myself to under 1,500 calories and go join the gym. I can actually do that now. The gym's right down the street. I'll do that. The first time I'm seen in public and I take pictures and post them on Twitter and stuff, it'll be me and my Magica cosplay. Okay, let's see. Next question. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay, so if I believe I am God, and you think I am God, I am then God. But if I am God, who am I then? And if I'm God, and I'm writing this comment, but if it's a bullshit, am I not God? But if I'm not God, how am I not God? But if I'm a sheep, I'm a sheep. So, see, what this line of reasoning right here is like the basis for most cults. And yeah. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Well, you have to think. Out of 22k subs, you have maybe a couple thousand live ones. Other are bots or spammers. You like negative responses? No, I don't like negative. Oh, this is from Hurty Dwarf. Usually just puts like a whole bunch of questions back to back. Hey, you're a nerd. Take that. I don't think I've seen a machinima with actual After Effects. Yeah, just go look at Nixium's machinimas. All of his are After Effects and they look pretty good. Most I've seen are just random clips. AdBlock was also made for the YouTube ads that are 30 seconds on a video less than 5 minutes. I don't use... Oh, you know the 30-second ads on videos less than 5 minutes? That's actually an option YouTubers can, check off. I accidentally had that on for a while. And then I remember I was listening to a podcast about other YouTubers called... what's it called? It's called Hello Internet. Oh, I love that podcast. It's so good. Anyways, the two people who talk on that podcast are both YouTubers. They were talking about how YouTube puts the 30-second ads as a default. I was like, I don't have that turned on because that's silly. And I go look at my latest released video and it had it checked for, would you like to put long, unskippable ads? And I was like, oh, shit. I'm one of those assholes who do 30-second ads. So I went and turned all of those off, and I don't do that. But I did for a while. I don't know how long, though, because I know for sure I didn't have that checked as a default. It sometimes changes the ads options and stuff, so I understand that. Let's see. I don't use blah, blah, blah from what I heard about philosophical maybe. Matter perception is everything. Everyone has nothing. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Let's go on to the next question. Let's see. By the way, hirumaredx, didn't you link the anime channel in the description? Oh, I only play Tinker. I'm not going to list it in this description. It's just going to be in the sidebar of my main channel. If you go to my channel, you'll see it. Hey man, I think you're pretty cool. Keep up the vids. I don't like playing WoW, but I like watching you play it, man. Well, I thank you, Toby Pierce. I think a lot of people who watch this channel don't actually really play WoW anymore. Been watching your top 10s and pet battle videos for quite some time now. My question is, what is your favorite battle pets for the following categories? Appearance, battle, PvP or PvE, and nostalgia. Okay. My favorite battle pet for appearance. That's a tough one. I don't know. I want to say... I haven't really put any thought into that. I'm going to put that on hold. For battle, PvP, it's the Vengeful Porky Pet. He's my favorite PvP pet battle pet, just because he's so much fun. He's a tier 1 pet, and no one really uses him, so it's always a surprise to my opponent whenever I use it and take out 2 of their pets before they notice that the Vengeful Porky Pet is a huge threat and tries to destroy it. And for PvE, probably, I wanted to say the Nether Fairy Dragon, but I've been having a lot of fun with the Ore Eater. He's been wrecking stuff up, just because Ore Eater is so OP right now. So either the Ore Eater or Nether Fairy Dragon, because they're both really good for just taking out Pandaren Daily Tamers. And as a nostalgia factor, probably like the singing sunflower. That was one of the first pets I ever leveled up to 25, and I used it so much to just out heal so many of like the early tamers' abilities. Because the singing sunflower is the only pet in the game that both has photosynthesis and sunlight. Photosynthesis is a 5-round hot, which heals you 2 times if sunlight's out. And when sunlight's out, it increases healing by 25%. So he's able to heal up for almost like 250 health every turn, which is a crazy amount for 5 turns on a hot that has no cooldown. So you can set that up, it lasts 5 rounds, and use Solar Beam, and you're able to heal up a ridiculous amount. Singing sunflowers also have a ton of health, so they're really hard to kill, and they can last forever if you keep the weather as sunny weather. And I used my singing sunflower so many times to take out other people because my other 2 pets were kind of bad. The other 2 first pets I leveled up were a ghostly skull and a pet bombling. Bombling was fine, but the skull, he really held me back because undeads are like just the worst to level up in PvE first, but they're like the best in PvP, so he helped me out later when I started doing PvP for the first time. And the sunflower will always have a special place in my heart because he was actually a legitimately decent pet that I leveled up first by accident just because I thought it was cute. Okay, so look at you PvPing on your alliance character. I've taught you well, Hiru-chan. Oh, that's the person I PvP'd with in my Ret video. Let's see. Hey Hiru, do you have some sort of breathing impediment? You always sound out of breath in all your vids. LOL. No, I don't have a breathing impediment. It's just talking for long periods of time in front of a microphone. I try not to breathe into the mic sometimes, and it's just a bad habit. I really gotta learn how to just talk normal and not worry about breathing into the mic in these kinds of videos. Because breathing into the video when I'm recording a script is a no-no. And I try to like not have to go in and edit the audio as much as possible. So I'll try to like do it all in one take. Like, hey Hero, do you have some sort of breathing impediment? You always sound out of breath in all of your vids. LOL. And then I'll like pause the video right there, take a breath, and then read the next line, just so I don't have to do anything with the breathing parts. So when I'm recording these kinds of videos, sometimes I'll forget I can just talk normally and breathe as much as I want. So yeah, no, I don't have a breathing impediment. It's just when I record videos, I talk differently than when I do normally. Let's see. Where have you been all my life? I don't know. The chances of 2 people meeting in a population of over like 7.5 billion people are pretty low, especially since I never leave my house. Okay, next question. Do math, dude. No, I hope I don't have to do math for a long time, since I'm taking a break from school for like a semester or 2. Next question. If you did expand your channel, or create a new one, for Hearthstone, I would check it out. Like your PvP commentary, I imagine it would be interesting to listen to or be influential. Since Hearthstone can be played on Android, I think there's a large audience, but it's really up to you. A Hearthstone channel. That was actually what my Pet Battle channel was before I converted it into a Pet Battle channel, so I have some earlier Hearthstone videos on there, because some of them were just like I didn't really record any actual commentary for it. Hearthstone commentary, I could do it, no problem. I do for my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and whenever I make a commentary video for my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, my fans seem to like it. What I do when I do that is I copy Day 9's style of Hearthstone commentary, because he's the best commentator for Hearthstone. He'll talk about what his deck's... Actually, does he do that? I don't know. What I do when I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Is I talk about what my deck does. I talk about possible combos. When my opponent plays hit their cards, I talk about my opponent's deck, what their possible combos are, what could possibly be in the back row, what I have to watch out for, what he possibly has in his hand, depending on what he has on the field and in his graveyard. I just go on over scenarios and talk out, give as much details as possible. And usually the people on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel just love that stuff. Except they take forever with their turns, and I hate that, because you basically are sitting there trying to talk out the combos, and then you've got a minute of nothing happening, and it's like, I'm going to have to edit this out later, and it really just like ruins the flow of the stuff. So I don't really like commentating on card games. Although commentating on PvP, pet battles, it's basically the same thing. I talk about my team, their possible combos, my opponent's team, what I have to watch out for, who I'm going to switch into. Pet battle stuff, I think I have that down to science. Everything I talk about is planned. I don't just go into it and mumble about random shit. I actually talk about what my opponent's strategies are, who they're going to switch to, what pet I'm going to switch into, what I'm going to predict my opponent's going to do. And since turns are maxed out at 20 seconds, it's real easy. The matches are a lot quicker. I really like commentating on the pet battle stuff. But card games, since the turns are a lot longer, it's just really a pain in the ass to sit there for a minute and just wait for your opponent if you're playing against a slow person. So, Hearthstone channel, maybe sometime in the future. I have a channel made for it, but I haven't made any videos for it yet, so it's definitely a possibility. Okay, so let's see. Next question. Theory. Sir, were you inhaling by any chance? Inhaling? I don't know, I probably took a deep breath. Goddamn, man, you sound like a true Yu-Gi-Oh player, Robbie Cole Jr. Here's an interesting question. What would it take for you to get over... yeah, let's not read that. If you do make a Metroidvania channel, I would subscribe to it. Also, you should check out this game, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's a leading project. Ooh, Bloodstained Ritual. What's this? I do want to play other Castlevania games. I mean, I should probably play some Castlevania games. Okay, this game looks pretty neat. Looks like it's just this Kickstarter. I'm gonna have to look into it later. Let's see. I'm officially the third biggest fan. Oh, he probably released his video. Third. And, okay, looks like that's it. There's not usually too many comments on these kinds of videos. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, preferably a really weird and, I don't know, just ask me weird questions. Those are a lot more fun to answer. You should totally do that, because I'll just go through and read it next time at the end of the video after I talk about random shit for the first 45 minutes like I did in this video. So, I think that's enough talking for one day.